What is up guys, it's Food and That coming at you with a new video. Today we're going to be making bad krapao, like a holy basil and pork stir fry from Thailand. Really nice, check it out. So we're going to need green beans, lime, shallots and 1 egg and about 1 cup of rice and 250 grams of pork, some chili flakes, garlic, cloves about 3 or 4 and some basil leaves. We're going to be using just oil, sunflower oil, whatever, dish sauce, oyster sauce and soy sauce. We have sugar, about 2 tablespoons, salt and MSG. So we're going to begin by making the sauce that will flavour our pork. So we're going to use about 2 tablespoons of sugar. I'm just doing it from packets because I don't have like a bag of sugar. And a teaspoon of salt. Struggling a bit with the bag, so I edited some of it out, but it's definitely a teaspoon. Just trust me. Next to that, I'm going to add about a tablespoon and a half of oyster sauce. Oyster sauce will give us a really umami flavor, one of the 5 flavors, or tastes, one of the 5 tastes. Really kind of just like savory, delicious flavor. Soy sauce, 1 tablespoon. So that's going to give us our salt, and fish sauce as well, which is another umami flavor. So that's going to give us 2. We're going to be using 2 tablespoons of that, and we're going to be using half a lime. So I think this is my last lime, so I'm just really trying to squeeze out all the juice I can from this one. Just a neat little trick is you can like stick the spoon into the lime and just twist it around the spoon, almost like an orange juice maker or receptacle. I don't know what you call that, juicer? I don't know. Okay, so we're just going to stir all of that up. So you will be able to feel all the granules, but salt and sugar, are water soluble, so they will dissolve in time. So we're just going to set that to the side for about 10 minutes, and we're going to add it to our pork later on. I think I also sprinkled like just a sprinkle of MSG in there as well. So I'm going to move on to the shallots. So just take the skin off, cut them in half and then cut them lengthways like a slice, about 2 millimeters, 1 millimeter I think actually that is. So we're actually using onions. These are really small onions in this video, they're not shallots, mainly because I couldn't source the shallots. So if you have access to shallots, use shallots, but unfortunately I'm just going to use onions. And that's what they all look like when they're chopped. So set them aside and then move on to the green beans. So the green beans have these little things on the end, I guess stems. So they're not edible, so you need to take those off. So just top and tail your green beans and cut them into about, I don't know, 2 centimeter long pieces like that. That's so they'll cook quicker. And onto the garlic, you could just take the top off the garlic and take all the skins off. I'm not going to bother showing all of that because you should be able to know. You should know how to take the skin off the garlic by now. And with the garlic, you just want to mince it. Just chop it and mince it. You don't want to mince it too much so that it turns into a paste, but just enough so it's small enough to fry quickly, because we are going to be stir frying this and we don't want it to burn. I really like garlic, so I think I added another clove to this. I'm using 3 at the moment, but I think I added another clove off camera. But you know, you add what you want to add. Some people don't like it, but I suggest if you don't like garlic, then this probably is not a dish for you. Okay, so I've had some oil heating on the max heat, and this is an electronic cooker, so it's a bit different to a gas cooker. You know, with gas you can get a much higher heat, but you have to be very careful as well. So what we want to happen is for the onions or shallots to all separate, and you as the cook to just keep them moving in the pan. You want them to keep moving quickly, because if they sit still in this heat, they'll burn. And the whole idea of you know, stir frying is to cook quickly under high heat. Saves a lot of time actually. So as you can see, the onions, you know, start to get a little bit translucent and start to take on a brown caramelized color. They're kind of getting to where I want them. So you start to see like burning, like blackening. It means you're not moving them enough, or your heat is way too high, or they're ready to come out. At this moment in time, they're ready to come out, so take them out and put them aside. Now in a clean pan with fresh oil, hot oil, we add our green beans. So just stir them around, give them a fry. We're only going to cook them for maybe like 2 to 3 minutes. Just want them softened. You don't need to pre-boil them or blanch them or anything. They're good to go in as they are. Just make sure they're clean. And once they've kind of fried for like a minute, you want to add your garlic and chili. And I'm using chili flakes in this recipe, but if I could, I would have used Thai bird's eye chilies. They're way better and more authentic, but again, it's a sourcing issue which I'm trying to resolve, but this works for the moment. So yeah, keep stirring your green beans. So you can see as well that the garlic has kind of almost already cooked through, so you're just going to cook it for like another 30 seconds or more. There you can see the garlic has been cooked down and the green beans have taken on a charred smokiness to them. So you can take them out when you feel they're ready, after about 3 minutes I say, and put them aside. So now I've got the pan is somewhat clean, and I've got no oil in it this time, but it's on the maximum heat, and I'm adding my pork just in little bits. So this is about 250 grams of minced pork at the ratio of like 80-20, 80% meat, 20% fat. I quite like fat, and I like this ratio. You could go for more or less depending on your needs. I think more would just make the dish too rich. So as you can see, the pork is shrinking, it's changing colour ever so slightly, it's letting out water, and I haven't moved it deliberately because I want to create some browning on the underside, some Maillard reaction. So that is sugar being created and flavour being created. Is really good. You can hear me sneeze from the chilies. Make sure you cook this with an open window or door. So what we're looking for is for the pork to change colour and render out all those juices and fats. What I'm doing here is just breaking the pork down, because you want really fine bits of minced pork. You don't want to have big balls of it. So I'm just trying to create more surface area here, really mix it through and make sure everything is cooked through. Because it's minced meat, it has a higher chance of making someone sick when they eat it, so we really want to make sure it's safe to eat and increase the surface area so it cooks quicker and crisps up quicker. So what we're looking for is for the pork to render out all the fat so that it can begin to start frying in its own fat, which you'll see now. All of that is pork fat, there's hardly any water there, which is good, it's what we want. So now we leave the pork to fry. And why are we doing this? We're doing this because we want a crispier, crunchier texture on the pork. It's just you know, so you have different variation in texture, makes the dish a bit more interesting. And you can see here that, you know, this is a stark difference to the pink pork that we had at the beginning, but that spoonful had different colours, some kind of light brown, some darker browns. So we want the meat to go a bit more darker and crunchier before we add the sauce. But I'm getting happy to where it is at the moment. Now you can see the colours changed a lot. I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to add the sauce. We're not going to take any of that fat away because, like I said earlier, fat is flavour. If you want to drain some of the fat off, you can, it's up to you. So just mix the sauce round, it will bubble because that's all the liquid, all the water, you know, boiling out. And what we're looking for is for the pork to be much darker, take on the colour of the soy sauce, the oyster sauce, and for the sugar in the sauce to caramelise. So as you can see, a lot of these pieces are darker. Texturally they're harder, a bit more crunchier. So we're good to kind of finish the dish now. So I'm going to add the onions back, the green beans back. You can turn the heat off now if you want, because all we're doing is, everything is cooked at this point. So all we're doing is just stirring everything through, reheating the green beans, reheating the onions, and saturating them in the sauce, in the mixture. So now I'm just tearing up some basil and adding it to the dish. This is the kind of cherry on top that gives the dish the kind of aniseed flavour that you're looking for. Unfortunately, this isn't the authentic Thai basil, this is kind of Italian sweet basil. Has a similar flavour profile, but it's not exactly the same, it's not what I'm looking for, but it's just a substitute for now. If you can't find the Thai basil, then it's a good alternative for you, and it gives you a somewhat similar flavour to the real deal. So that's all done, just take it out, put it in a bowl. Got some oil in a pan and just going to fry an egg now to finish the dish. Here, you know, you can watch me fail. This is just an absolute disaster. The yolk breaks, it sticks, but hey ho, there it is on the end. This chili, I don't know what to call it. I think it's called prik nam bla. It's just chili, sugar, fish sauce and lime juice. Is really delicious, just a great accompaniment to the egg and rice. Some egg, some pork, some beans. Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Wow. Spicy, savoury, sweet, sour, salty, umami's got everything in that one bite. The smokiness from the pan, the crunchy pork, crispy. The basil comes through at the end. So fragrant. So good, man.
So yeah, guys, that's it.
Nice.
That's the Bagrapao, holy basil, and pork stir fry with rice and a fried egg. It's a great dish. Try it out. If you do, let me know in the comments below. Sorry it's been so long between uploads, but I've got some new videos planned for the future, so stick to the channel and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.